Yes, today we're riding one of the oldest subway cars still in service in New York City and among the oldest still operating in the world. We're on the J train in Brooklyn on an R-32 car, which is over 55 years old. This subway car is made of stainless steel and has a corrugated exterior. It's 60 feet long and 10 feet wide. The car was nicknamed a Brightliner because of its shiny exterior. As of 2017, roughly 200 of the original 600 R-32 subway cars were still operating, and although they were all supposed to be retired in 2020 due to their age, some are still riding, and we were lucky enough to catch one. One of the favorite features of the old R-32 car, or REAS is like we like to call them, is that you can ride in either the front or last car on the train and get an unobstructed view out the window. Today, because it's raining heavily, we opted to take the last car and watch the view as we traveled from Brooklyn into Manhattan. For us, it's like when we were kids riding in the back of our family's station wagon, looking out that back door window. Extra good. Living in New York my whole life, we're still always amazed how close these apartments are to the elevated tracks. You can literally look into people's apartments and even see what's on their table for dinner. Several R-32 trains were featured in the movie Spider-Man: Homecoming, filmed on a J train. The rain is really coming down now. Oh wow, did you see that lightning bolt?
Yeah, that was right on top of us.
It's getting really dark for around 7 p.m. Even the platform lights are coming on. That constant whirring you're hearing is the air conditioning. One of the reasons these old R-32 cars were supposed to have been taken out of service is that besides being old, they're known to have issues with their AC breaking. Now, they only run on mostly above ground and outdoor lines like the J and Z. This is one of our favorite views from the train, where you can see the old Chase Manhattan Bank rooftop sign in Williamsburg, and all the weeds growing on the tracks, and then the big curve heading to the Williamsburg Bridge. We also love seeing the big dome of the old Williamsburg Savings Bank and the hand-painted old ad for Peter Luger's Steakhouse on the building on the right. The Williamsburg Bridge was completed in 1903 and was the longest suspension bridge span in the world until 1924. Measured from high water, the height at the center of the bridge is 135 feet, or 41 meters, above the East River, and each tower is 310 feet tall, or 94 meters. The Williamsburg Bridge was designated as a National Historic Civil Engineering Landmark in 2009. The Williamsburg Bridge is unconventional among suspension bridges, as its main span hangs from cables as the usual manner, but the side spans are supported entirely by their truss work. The Williamsburg and Manhattan bridges are the only suspension bridges in New York City that still carry both automobile and rail traffic. In fact, the Williamsburg Bridge once held 4 trolley tracks in addition to the 2 subway tracks. The bridge deteriorated over the years, and its cables corroded to the point that the bridge was rebuilt through much of the 90s and 2000s. While rebuilding it, they replaced a decrepit pedestrian walkway, and a new bike path was added. The bridge is the most heavily bicycled span in North America. Now that we've crossed the bridge, we're heading lower, underground, into the Lower East Side of Manhattan's subway tunnels. Notice all the graffiti painted along the sides of the tunnel. We've explored a lot of these subway tunnels while documenting graffiti, but there's not a lot of clearance when a train goes by, so we would not recommend trying this yourself. For those of you who are not familiar with our story, before we began documenting mom and pop stores in New York City, we were documenting the graffiti art scene, both above ground on the streets and underground in the subway tunnels. We earned the trust of a lot of graffiti artists by taking many of the same risks they did by going down to the subway tunnels to document what they had painted. Again, we don't recommend anyone venturing down into the tunnels, as it is very dangerous. You have to worry about the electrified third rail, the little to no clearance from passing subway trains, and the fact that it's illegal to be running around on the tracks down there. Even though we'd bring a flashlight with us so we could see the third rail and not step on it, you really couldn't use it that much because you don't want to attract attention when you're down there by shining up a flashlight all over the place, because in case workers are around, you don't want to be seen.
Also, you don't want to use a flash on your camera either.
Exactly.
Because that'll certainly attract attention.
Right, you might as well say, hey, I'm here.
It was in these dark tunnels that we first learned how to use our camera and how to shoot in low light. We hadn't ever shot in almost total darkness before under a lot of stress, so this was a quick way to learn skills in like aperture and shutter speed and everything else, because it is very, very dark down there.
In addition to documenting graffiti photographically, we also interviewed many of the graffiti artists, including the elusive REVS, who came over our studio and even gifted us with a piece he did on a parking sign. It's really cool. As you can see, the platforms in Manhattan are pretty empty. Now, not that many people are riding the subways because of the coronavirus, but normally it would be way busier on the J train during this part of rush hour. There are a lot of unused spurs and surface tracks down these tunnels, which we've also explored. Here are some photos from our explorations of the tunnels from over the years. Many graffiti artists have painted in these tunnels, including some notable artists such as ESPO, Ghost, REAS, and of course, REVS. REVS is one of the most notorious graffiti artists in New York City's history. From roughly 1994 to 2000, he painted Underground, a diary of sorts, totaling 235 pages chronicling his thoughts and events in his life. You may recognize these people taking photos with their tripod. this is our stop, Chambers Street. We'll be showing you in a future video all the gritty details of this subway station. It was voted as the city's ugliest subway station, as it hasn't been cleaned or repaired since the 1930s, but now it's finally getting some updates. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please hit the subscribe button and notification bell and give our video a thumbs up and share it if you liked it. You may also enjoy watching some of our other videos highlighting unique places and small businesses in New York City, including lots of food spots and vinyl record shops, and a train video showing how empty the trains are these days. If you'd like to help support our channel so we can continue highlighting these small places and unique spots, consider donating either through PayPal or through our Patreon page, where your donation also gets you bonus perks. Thanks, guys!
Bye, guys!
And bye!